How to get less defensive in relationships. The fading illusion. Every relationship begins with a dream, two people enchanted by each other's kindness, beauty, and warmth. But as intimacy deepens, the romantic illusion fades, revealing something both more real and more frightening: another imperfect human being. The irritation of details. Over time, the way they leave the bathroom, pack a suitcase, or tell a story begins to irritate us. We notice the small details that clash with our preferences, and sooner or later one of us points it out. Small details. The way they leave the bathroom. Clashing preferences. The way they pack a suitcase. Pointing it out. The way they tell a story begins to irritate us. That's when defensiveness enters. The partner who's being criticized, no matter how gently, feels attacked. They may argue, sulk, or withdraw. The underlying message is the same. If you really loved me, you wouldn't find fault with me. Gentle criticism. Perceived attack. Defensive reaction. Withdraw/sulk. Love is about growth, not stagnation. But this is a tragic misunderstanding, because real love isn't about being adored as we are. It's about growing together, being loved for our potential, for who we can become when we are at our best. Love me for who I am sounds romantic, but it's actually a demand for stagnation. It asks our partner to turn a blind eye to our flaws too. Love not a person, but a fantasy. 1. Love is a classroom, not a refuge. The spirit of true love should not be defensive, it should be curious. When our partner gives us feedback, instead of reacting with anger or hurt, we should be able to say, "Tell me more." Because love is not a sanctuary where our flaws are hidden. It's a classroom where they are gently brought into the light. In healthy relationships, criticism isn't an act of hostility, it's an act of faith. It's a sign that the other person believes we are capable of growth. The mature lover doesn't say, "Love me as I am." They say, "Love me enough to help me become better." 2. The psychology behind defensiveness. Defensiveness always hides a deeper fear. Beneath the anger and denial lies a childlike terror, the fear of humiliation and abandonment. Emotional echoes. When our partner points out something negative, we don't just hear words, we hear an emotional echo from the past. We hear the voice of a parent who once shamed us, or the memory of a relationship where criticism was cruelty. The panic response. So, we panic. We shut down. We fight back. Transforming conflict. But here's the truth: a decent partner isn't trying to humiliate us. They're trying to connect. If we can admit our fear, if we can say, "I get defensive because I'm scared you'll stop loving me," we transform the moment from conflict to intimacy. The real danger in love isn't criticism. It's the inability to accept it with grace. 3. The myths that keep us stuck. 1. Criticism means you're not loved. No. If love required perfection, no one would qualify. We are lovable not because we are flawless, but because we are human, trying, failing, and trying again. 2. Love is fragile. Defensive people believe that every disagreement is a threat. To the relationship, a single argument feels like an avalanche, but true love isn't destroyed by conflict, it's strengthened by repair. You can call someone terrible names in anger and 10 minutes later still want to hold them because love at its core is resilient. 3. If my partner criticizes me, they don't accept me. In reality, they may accept you more than anyone ever has, precisely because they see both your potential and your pain. 4. Outgrowing defensiveness. The achievement of humility. Defensiveness isn't permanent. It can be outgrown, but only if both partners make it a shared goal. Imagine if, on a first date, we could say, "I'd like to learn Spanish, move to the countryside someday, and with the right person's help, get over my defensiveness." What a powerful statement of maturity that would be. The effort to listen without fury, to stay open even when corrected, is one of life's greatest emotional achievements. It's as noble as running a marathon or building a business, because it demands the one thing most people fear: humility. Eventually, with time and practice, we can reach a point where our partner says gently, "Your breath isn't great today," or "Your shoes don't match your outfit," and instead of reacting with shame or anger, we can simply smile and say, "Thank you." Because that's what love truly is: two flawed humans helping each other grow into better versions of themselves. Final reflection. Defensiveness is the invisible wall that keeps love from maturing. To dismantle it, we must stop seeing our partner as an enemy of our ego and start seeing them as an ally of our evolution. The deepest form of intimacy doesn't come from being adored. It comes from being corrected gently, loved deeply, and understood completely, even in our imperfection.